Hello and welcome to the Miles Irvin Show. I'm your host, Miles, and in a throwback video across my screen, we've got my guest host, Goggles. Goggles, how are you doing today, man?
I'm good. It's weird.
I know, dude. It's been so long, but we had to do the collaboration with the season coming up soon. But I know you have been starting your own sort of thing down at OU. Do you wanna tell everyone what you've been working on?
It's a full sports channel, so it's better than Miles because
Oh,
I do
yes.
all sports. I do all the sports. He just does basketball. But all jokes aside, I do mainly football right now, obviously, because we're in the full swing of things for football season. But I'm gonna be putting some MLB videos out there for the playoffs and everything because playoffs did start today, and I got my videos coming out for that. And then basketball season when it starts, and got some more things cooking for that as well.
Sweet, and it's called Jackson Talks Sports. I'll leave a link for that in the description below on YouTube. He's gotten off to a decent start. So, good. No, you don't think so? What are you talking? I think you're off to a pretty good start, but
I looked at the average watch time. It's not that good.
hey, the analytics they don't hey, it doesn't matter when we're starting off
Yeah,
the new channels or whatever. But
yeah.
today, with the
And
season coming up shortly, preseason starting Thursday, which is incredible media day, was just what, yesterday?
Jimmy, Jimmy
Yesterday. Oh
took
my, yeah,
over.
Jimmy. Oh my goodness.
Emo Jimmy's my new favorite thing.
Yeah. Oh my, that
And
was
it got Taylor Swift off my feed.
it got Taylor Swift off your feet. Yeah. But with the season coming up, I thought it'd be the perfect time to think of 10 big questions heading into this upcoming NBA season. So in this episode, we are going to answer 5 of those questions. Stay tuned for part 2. We'll answer the next 5. But yeah, these are like the most important questions. So if these don't get answered throughout the season, then the whole world is going to end and blow up in our faces. So these
I
are
only have 8 controversial answers.
only 8. You know what? That's a nice solid downgrade. So but let's get started. So the first question for you, Jackson, since we haven't had you on in a very long time, a lot of things happened during the NBA offseason. Who was your biggest winner?
Um, Obviously, I think it's Damian Lillard. Um, he wanted to go to a contender, and I think he went to one of the top contenders. Obviously they had to give away like Drew Holiday, which we'll get into later. But I think it's Damian Lillard. But it could also you could also say maybe Boston, especially after they got Drew Holiday and Porzingis.
Yeah, so I said that the biggest winner of the offseason was basically the entire Eastern Conference because besides the 76ers and the Nets, every single playoff team got better in some sort of way. We've got the Bucks adding Damian Lillard, the Celtics, like you mentioned. You got the Cavs getting some shooting. The Knicks got Dante
Magic,
DiVincenzo. Yeah,
Dante DiVincenzo.
yeah, for the Knicks. But I guess now that we're sort of talking about it, what do you think about the Damian Lillard and Drew Holiday trades? Just briefly to sum it up.
I think honestly, I think the Trailblazers kind of won that deal. Um,
Okay.
I know that might be crazy to say, but they got DeAndre and they got Robert Williams, one of the best and most complete front courts. Wait, yeah, front courts that we're gonna see. Because you have Robert Williams with his defense, DeAndre with his offensive ability, and I mean now he has someone who can help him in the paint when he's being a Charmin ultra soft paper towel because he's the softest player in the NBA as I stated before.
we're
But
back we're back to this. Oh my gosh. Nothing's changed from a year ago.
but I think also another underrated thing that they did, they shipped Drew Holiday back off to Boston, which is gonna make Damian Lillard a little worse. His best perimeter defender in the NBA.
Ooh.
Like think about it.
Ooh.
Think about it.
That's some good mind games right there to trick Lillard. Um I agree somewhat with the Blazers thing. Do you think that Aiton and Williams will start together? Because I know Aiton said he wanted to play the 4, but do you think they're going to start together?
If Aiton wants to play the 4, I think they should let him play the 4, and I think they should start them together. I think either
So
way they should start them together.
so you would have what? Scoot Simons and Jeremy Grant play the three?
Mhm.
That's what. Okay, I can't be mad at that. That would, I guess that would only make sense, especially if they want to trade Jeremy Grant even after signing that big big extension this offseason. I guess that only makes sense. Um
Yeah.
so I guess this is one of the questions that'll be like asked throughout the whole season. Um Between the Bucks and the Celtics, who do you think got better? More, who do you think is better from the offseason moves?
Obviously they're both better, but I
Yeah,
think
I say that they're both clearly the top tier of the East. I don't think
yeah.
anyone. I've been saying that if that isn't the conference finals this year, then they should be. Whoever doesn't get there should be absolutely ashamed of themselves, because no one's close to the Celtics and Bucks, in my opinion.
My final prediction or otherwise. But I think I think Boston, they lost their two defensive anchors in Robert Williams and Marcus Smart, but they got back a top tier defensive anchor. So it's kind of tough to say. I think they got better, but I think the Bucks also got better. Obviously, you add Damian Lillard, you're going to get better. But they lost their defensive anchor next to Giannis as well. I mean, obviously you still have Brooks, but like the team's going to be a little worse defensively coming into this year. So I think they both got equally better. Um I think if they play, I think that Boston's gonna lose.
Oh, you
Um,
think the Bucks would win the series?
cause
Okay.
now, cause now Boston has nobody to stop Giannis.
Well,
Bottom line.
hey, old man Al Horford is still there. He always does a solid job against Giannis, but I think that they're extremely close as well. If I had to pick, I'd probably have to agree with Milwaukee. Also because like Boston, yeah, they added some big pieces, which means they now have two star caliber players or like high usage players that they're going to have to incorporate alongside Brown and Tatum, who are also high usage players. So
One
I
of
think
those guys can't go left.
yes, everyone, yeah, that's been everyone's thing this offseason. But
Mm-hmm.
that's a good one. So the Bucks' biggest winners, Blazers, did decent as well. I definitely think that the package that they got back by picking the Bucks and Suns package definitely got
Would have
them a
been way
lot
better than Miami.
more. Exactly, it was way better. Mainly because Drew Holiday is such a valuable, unique player. Like Tyler Hero, there are plenty of guys like Tyler Hero in the league. I
Tyler
mean,
Hero's my favorite.
but
I like Tyler Hero.
let's shift to the other side of things. Who had the worst offseason? Who is your biggest loser?
This isn't even close to me. I think it's the Philadelphia 76ers, mainly James Harden. Because we're unsure if Harden, like now we're unsure if he's even gonna play, and I think they weren't able to find a trade partner, so they're gonna be stuck with him until at least next year. We're thinking, unless they can get something done at the trade deadline. But not many people want Harden at this point because everywhere he goes, he seems to just want out like a year or two later, which is starting to get annoying.
It
Um,
really is getting annoying. Like there were just reports like earlier today that he is like expected to like join the team for training camp just to make a scene. So we're gonna get Jimmy Butler 2.0 when he was with the Wolves. That would be great.
he's not
But
gonna be running with the third team.
no, like I just don't know. First of all, I don't understand why he would really want why he wanted a trade request at first. Like that doesn't make sense to me. You're playing like if you want to win a championship like you've been saying, you're playing with the MVP. Like even regardless of who
Shouldn't have
we
been MVP.
right, yeah, exactly. I was just about to say, but regardless of who we think, Joel Embiid won the MVP. So you're playing with the MVP. You should be happy in your situation. And Daryl Morey and them, they have a right to not want to trade you when you're in a good situation and you're not very valuable in the league right now.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, obviously you play with Joel Embiid, you got Maxey there, you got Tobias Harris, who they chose over Jimmy. Still one of the worst decisions in sports.
You think about it. They chose Tobias over Jimmy and JJ Redick at the time. Like, they just let JJ walk.
Yeah, that's ridiculous to me.
Yeah. That's a very solid pick for biggest loser. I went in a different direction and I chose the Miami Heat because their whole summer, right from like we were still in the finals against Denver, and people were like, okay, that's fine. Even if you guys lose, you're gonna get Damian Lillard this offseason. And
I'm not
didn't
worried.
that didn't happen. That did not happen. And they
I'm a Heat
also
fan. I'm not worried.
you're a Heat fan?
No, if I'm a Heat fan, I'm not worried.
Oh, if you're a Heat fan, you're not worried? Why do you say
hmm
that?
Losing Dame or not getting Dame isn't that bad. I mean, they have the same team as they did last year, which made the finals,
No,
and
they lost two starters.
oh my gosh, you're right.
They lost Gabe Vincent and Max Strus. When you take a look at their
Oh,
when you
but
take
Jaime Jaquez is going to be the new guy.
but like you look at their depth chart, I mean their starters are gonna be fine, but like the second unit, I mean, oh my gosh. If Josh Richardson and Caleb Martin are your best bench players, I'm a little bit worried. Now, Miami has
Nikola
shown
Jovic is good.
Jovic, yeah, that's the thing. They have young, unproven guys that could show some things. I have a feeling that like RJ Hampton, who just signed there on a two-way contract, is gonna like somehow become like a great defender and be a good piece for them. But
He's
like
going to become a great player.
I, but like I just like they. It's similar to I mean Denver as well. Like neither of these teams have a bench. And Miami, their whole offseason plans were based around getting Damian Lillard, and they didn't get the guy.
They have
So,
more of a bench though than if they would have traded for Dame.
oh yeah, for sure,
They
total.
they would have they would have had to sign me to go play for them if they traded for Dame.
That's probably accurate. At least you can shoot a little bit, just a little bit. Um, but yeah, man, I'm also curious to see how Tyler Hero will play
I'll
this
tell you.
year, especially mainly because like it's gotta be hard to come back to a team after you've been dangled around in trade rumors for literally every day this summer. Like,
Now he's locked in.
you think so? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's definitely a great player.
All-star starter.
All-star starter. Oh my goodness, what is this? Oh my, he's bringing in all the hot takes. Let's let's go on to question number 3, and that is, what was your favorite under the radar move of the summer?
Oh, this is easy. It's Marcus Smart going to the Grizzlies. Um,
Okay.
he adds much needed leadership into that locker room, especially with how Jaws been the last couple of years. And he'll be a good starter for while Jaws gone, like for that 20, is it 20 or 25? I think it's 25, right? His suspension.
Yeah, 25 games.
Yeah, and Jaws, I just saw a report. Jaws going to be able to practice the team and travel with the team, so he can kind of learn from Marcus Smart, and Marcus Smart's going to help him on defense too. So we could see Ja come back and be like a whole different breed just because of this one under the radar signing.
And also the Derrick Rose signing too, I think is pretty good for them as
Yeah, I
well.
mean, yeah,
I mean, did you see the quote or hear the quote that he said today? He was like,
I don't remember it word for word.
but it was basically like, I told Ja like,
I'm not here to babysit you. Like, yeah,
yeah, exactly, that's perfect. It's like, you know, Derrick Rose and Marcus Smart are professional guys, and like, Ja Morant's a great player, but there's definitely a lot more for him to learn off the court wise. That's definitely a good move. Now, my
and it's a
favorite.
good, oh,
No, 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 no. Finish what you were saying.
it's a good off-season move because they lost an all NBA first, like a first team all defensive team player to the Houston Rockets for
That
their
is that. Hey,
bronze medal winner Dylan Brooks, 39 points.
that is true. That is true. Yeah, I
My
mean,
Dylan Brooks jersey could be here soon.
they've got the last two defensive player of the years.
Yeah, that's crazy too. That lineup is going to be crazy defensively again this year, as it always has been.
Yeah, their main question is probably the 3-point shooting outside of Bain and Kennard, but
Desmond.
Desmond Bain. My favorite under the radar move. obviously it's my favorite team. I have to go with the Cavs getting their shooters because we needed them. The Cavs needed the three-point shooting desperately, and getting Max Strus and George Niang, they're not huge names or anything like that, but they fit. They're players that have shown that they can fit around other great players, and they'll fit well with the Cavs system. I won't say too much on that.
That's fair.
So next up, so I was gonna ask this question for both conferences, but for the Western Conference, I think it's a pretty easy answer. So I'm just gonna stick with the East. What Eastern Conference team, which Eastern Conference lottery team will make the playoffs this year? Who do you think? Who do you think is gonna make it out of all the teams that missed?
I was looking at it and I was like, you know what? There's not really anyone.
Ah,
Like, but then I thought about it a little more and I was like, this is kind of a dark horse right now.
real
Pistons looking good.
the Detroit Pistons. Okay.
Like I said, I don't think they're gonna make it, but I could see them being a dark horse to make it. I mean, you got Cade coming back, who is a beast. We saw with all the reports of him like running with the Team USA A squad and just dominating.
Oh yeah.
You have a Star Thompson, you got James Wiseman there still, you got Marvin Bagley. They got a plethora of young talent, and I think this season, I think some of those guys are going to take a step forward, which I think is going to propel them. Maybe I say play in. I'm not going to say playoff. I could see them maybe squeaking into the playoffs, but that's very unlikely.
Okay, yeah, I can see your point too. I was running into similar, similar things as well, because like all the teams that made the playoffs last year in the East, I mean they should all make it again. The main question that I'm sure that we'll talk about probably later is Brooklyn. That's really the only like question or team.
I'm not worried about Brooklyn.
Okay, we'll get to that later, but for me, mine was a toss up between two teams. One of the teams I made a bold prediction about last year. That was the Orlando Magic, and I'm still high on them for this season. But I'm gonna pick a different team that I think has a higher chance of making it, and that is the Indiana Pacers. I am really excited to see the Pacers play this season. I feel like they'll be one of the most fun offensive teams to watch because like you've got.
I love Tyrese.
You got Tyrese, you've got Mathurin, Bruce Brown and Obi Toppin were acquired this offseason, and you have Miles Turner, who's now somehow a veteran that's still a Pacer. I still can't believe it, but like,
and they got Buddy. Did you mention Buddy?
No, I did not mention Buddy. Buddy is going to, I think, throughout training camp they have been practicing with him in the second unit. So
I like that.
I like Buddy off the bench.
Buddy incoming.
Hey.
Bench Buddy.
Because there were the rumors that, or the reports that since they didn't get to an agreement on a contract extension, that they would look to trade him. But honestly, at this point, I wouldn't trade him because he fits this team offensively.
Run around, shoot, let Tyrese throw missiles to you.
Yeah, because he had a great year last year. So I think the Pacers will be pretty good.
And just so we're clear, our obvious one is the Mavericks, right?
Yes, in the West, it'd clearly be the Mavericks, but
I have a non-obvious one, but I already mentioned them a lot.
Okay, the Blazers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll clip this, receipt this. Go ahead, Blazers, dark horse playoff team. Dark horse. Laugh all you want. Laugh all you want. It's gonna happen.
Eight
I said the Rockets, and I almost did. I really almost did. They are a dark horse too. But I'm not going to.
Honestly, I feel like every team in the West is a dark horse besides. Well, heck, everyone's gonna say
Spurs out of there.
I say get the Spurs out of there.
No, nah.
This is
not that good.
This is a message. Shout out to Coach Cove. But the Spurs are not going to win 50 games. Just gonna throw that out there to Coach.
Duncan Robinson is not better than Jaylen Brown.
No one's gonna understand that except Coach Cove. Coach Cove, shout out to you. We gotta have you on sometime.
He keeps dissing my. We all gotta go on together. Me, you, and Coach Cove.
Oh, that'd be a great one. But final question for this first part. Who will be a first-time All-Star this year?
This one's obvious too. This one's so obvious.
Okay, who do you got?
Jamal Murray has never been an All-Star.
That is kind of crazy to think about. He's never been.
I read that and it made me so mad.
He's never been
It
an
made me so
All-Star.
mad.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
why?
Just
Why
because
was James Harden an All-Star every year, but Jamal Murray's not?
Harden was in the East the last few years.
Harden's a sissy.
Every year he made the All-Star team in the West, he was on your team.
And I hate him.
You, well, now he's getting annoying too. But like Jamal Murray, I mean, it's just been because his injury and West guards are just like incredible.
Yeah.
But
there's no better Robin in the league right now. There's no better Robin to a Batman.
Ooh, well, we'll see that with Dame and Giannis this year.
Oh, give me a break.
Do you think Murray will be Bucks Nuggets would be a fun series, man. I'm actually, I'm curious.
Demolish them.
I'm gonna.
Jokic and Murray are going stupid in that series.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking at the All-Star roster for this past year. Because my first time All-Star, I went with a guy in the East because I feel like it's hard. I mean, looking at these Western Conference guys, I don't know who you would take out.
I got a good one for the East. Oh, darn it.
Well, okay, we might have the same guy. I've got Jalen Brunson.
Great minds think alike, I guess.
Oh, let's go. The same ones.
I love Jalen Brunson.
Dude,
Jalen Brunson might be my favorite non-Rockets player in the NBA.
Dude, honestly, people might, I'm sure I've said it before on here, but people might hate me for saying it because I'm a Cavs fan, but like, Jalen Brunson is a great player. Like, he knows how to play, as a point guard. But here we have our official rankings. Jamal Murray for Jackson, Jalen Brunson for me. And I picked Brunson because, well, first of all, he was just great all of last year. And
especially in the playoffs, right?
Especially in the playoffs. And even if the Knicks have a downward fall this season, he was so hyped up throughout the whole year and the offseason, and I expect it to keep up. Even if they struggle, because he's in the big market of New York, he's going to make the All-Star game. I can almost count on it.
I might be the least worried person on this planet about the Knicks. I don't think they're going to fall off at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they will either, but you never know. It'd be a very Knicks thing for them to do to fall off, because like even like the 2 years ago when they were the 4th seed, when Randall had his best year of his career, then they were garbage the next year. But they didn't make as many like crazy moves to change their team this year as they did last year.
They didn't need to. Team's amazing.
No, they didn't. The team was great. Team was great now, but yeah. So that is the first 5 questions of the 10 most important questions to begin the season. Jackson, thank you so much for joining me. We will catch you guys all in part 2 coming up soon. If you like this video, definitely leave a like rating. It would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe for more NBA content. Check out Jackson's channel. The link is in the description below. I'm your host, Miles. That's my guest, Goglin, over there. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you in the next one.